The West is in
China's
panic
President
mode.
Xi Jinping is hosting North Korea's Kim Jong-un and Russia's Vladimir Putin, so is that significant? Over the last 30 years, the relationship between Russia and China has completely reversed, and particularly since 2022 with the full-scale invasion of Ukraine by Russia. Because China is so much stronger than Russia now. Russia really needs China. It needs China's help. It couldn't carry on the war in the way that it is doing without China's support. And China has now made it clear that they're not trying to be neutral anymore. They have decided that they do not want the Russians to lose this war, and they're prepared to help in whatever way they need to without getting too far into it. One of the ways in which China supports Russia in this war is by buying up its oil, as does India, because without India and China absorbing Russian oil, the Russians will be very hard put to create the revenues they need to continue this war. So although it looks as if Putin and Xi Jinping are two leaders meeting together from two great powers, actually President Putin is on his knees in front of Xi Jinping in reality. The relationship between China and North Korea is a client relationship, and it has been since the 1950s. North Korea is a small hermit kingdom. It's a rogue state, and only China until recently has had anything to do with it. So China supports it, keeps it going. North Korea is a real nuisance to China very often, but China feels it has to keep North Korea alive, keep it moving, keep defending it in world politics. But the result of the Ukrainian war since 2022 has been that Russia has got closer to North Korea. The North Koreans are helping the Russians. They've given them anything from 6 million to 12 million artillery shells. They've deployed anything up to 13,000 troops to help the Russians fight the war. And the Russians and the North Koreans are closer now than they have been since any time since the 1950s. And that bothers the Chinese for obvious great power reasons. The relationship between Russia and North Korea is a interactional relationship. So the North Koreans send the Russians the sort of equipment that they need and in now troops that they want. In return, the Russians give the North Koreans some food, which they also need, but it gives them technology, particularly missile technology, help with its nuclear program, and it gives it the respectability of saying to Kim Jong-un that you're among us now, you're among the big boys. And Kim Jong-un, who has only left North Korea about 6 times since 2011, is now hobnobbing with the really big powers in the world, and by Jove, that makes him feel good. The meeting between these 3 leaders is, in a sense, bad news for Ukraine, because it shows that here's an axis of Russia, China and North Korea who are determined to prevail in this aggressive war against Ukraine. On the other hand, there's not that much substance between them. They say that they're unbreakably linked to each other, but actually they're not. And the tensions underneath their relationships are at least as important as the things that unite them. But the image of these 3 leaders, Putin, Xi Jinping and Kim Jong-un, the eccentric Kim Jong-un, that is an image